So before I joined college, I used to have these kind of expectations of what I expected to see in college and of what I expected to experience in college. But something happened in that I never got what I expected because the reality really hit me hard. And today I just like to share that story of my expectation when joining nursing school and the reality that I got. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lois Odor, and on this channel I talk about nursing and also do nursing and lifestyle vlogs. So if that is something you're interested in, you should consider subscribing. So for me, when I joined nursing school, when I went to college, I think I had the perception of going to university instead, because for me, from what I've heard from people, is that when you're done with high school and you go to the university, you usually experience like something different. Like life is really easy. If you can remember, when we were in high school, we had these they're not even lecturers, we had these teachers who used to tell us that when you're done with high school and you get to college, life there is so easy. So I think I had all those perceptions in my mind. So that is what I had in my mind when I went into college. So when I got there, the first thing that really hit me hard is that I used to think that you can just miss class the way you want. But most especially in nursing school, you cannot just miss class the way you want, because in nursing school, everything that is taught every day is usually so important. So you just can't miss class the way you want. Like usually here, people in university, someone has missed class for even 3 months and they're just okay with it. Like that cannot happen in nursing school and in most colleges. So me, I used to think that when I go to college, life will be just like in the university, so sweet. You can just miss class whenever you want. Like I can miss class for even a whole month and it's okay. But I realized that's not it, because we used to attend classes every day, Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. in the evening, every day. That is without missing. And we used to have a register. Like they used to bring a certain register whereby you sign after every class session. You sign, not even every day, after every class session you sign. And then that is what is usually like, they take it and then they accumulate. Then at the end of it, they give a percentage for your class attendance, and this is usually also part of your marks by the end of the final exams, because this can affect you in such a way that if you had a really good percentage and you did not do well in your final exam, they can add you some marks because of the attendance, and this can boost you and even help you pass in your exam. So when you already have that idea, you just can't get yourself to not attend class. So attending classes is just mandatory. The other thing that I expected is that I thought when I was going to college, I'm going to enjoy myself. Like enjoy, you know, they usually say, well, you sacrifice to this when you get to college, when you get to university, you'll enjoy life. Their life is so easy. So I had that mentality that when I get to college, I'm really going to enjoy myself. But that doesn't mean that when I went to college, I did not enjoy myself, because enjoying yourself in college, and especially in nursing school, it is something like that looks like a personal initiative, because most of the time you won't have that time. Like most of the people don't have that time to enjoy themselves. They don't have that time to go for parties. But you find that there are some people who are in the same nursing school, and if they explain to you how much they've really enjoyed their lives during the 4 years in college, you'll be shocked. So personally, I thought like in university, you're just going to enjoy yourself, you're going to meet new people, like life is just going to be so sweet because you're away from home and all those kind of things. But yes, we tried to, but still it is not like the way you thought, because you are also still busy. Because the moment you like take a whole month just enjoying yourself, by the end of that month you'll have a lot of work piled up, you'll have a lot of things you have not done, and by the time you even sit with other students, you realize you're just behind. Yeah? So you can do all that, you can enjoy yourself, but the reality is that it is at a minimum. Like it is so minimum, even like once in 2 weeks or something like that. So you enjoy yourself, but it's really minimum. Then the third thing is about clinicals. Me, I used to think that when you go for attachments, because you're a student, you'll be going there to observe. Like your work will be just going there every day, and then you just look at the nurses, the way they are working, and you admire and you say, oh, one day I'd like to be like you, I'd like to do what you're doing. So that was what I thought about attachments and clinicals, that students go for attachments and clinicals to observe. Shock on me. The first day we went for attachment, and that was just like around, it was in Muranga Hospital. When we got there, it's the first day, the first thing you were told was to make beds. You haven't even been told like this is what we do here and this is what we do, like what. The first thing you've just got in, start making those beds. I remember I was in the medical ward. That was the first place I went for clinical. It was a medical ward. So after making all those beds, we were to change the patient's diapers. It was a male ward. So I think that day was like a little bit traumatized. You can imagine, I think that day we had almost 35 patients, and you have to change the diapers. So you're changing the diaper, and this guy has, and you're removing it and all that smell, and they're saying you're not supposed to make faces because you will make the patient uncomfortable. So you're hearing all those smell, and you remove the diaper, and you wipe, and you put another one, you make the bed, you even give them the other ones who can't, like, because they can't get out of bed, you give them bed baths. And after that, I remember we were told to, like, giving medications. Like, we were allowed on that day to just observe, but on the rest of the days, at times the nurse used to sit down, and then you'll be the one to give medications, and they observe. And from that day onwards, like, that was just the norm. Like, when nurses see students, they feel like now it's time for them to, can I say, relax or to take it easy. Yes, you find that some of them are really responsible. Like, there are some of them whom they'll be with you each and every patient. They want to see the way you're doing it so that you don't make a mistake. But there are some of them who are in holiday, like they come on duty, and because she has 6 students, they'll tell you give medications, and she'll sit down and use her phone and go around other wards, and all those kind of, yeah, that was it. So me, I thought clinicals we were going to observe, but we were going to work. Like, we went to work. The other thing is that I thought people don't study in college. I thought that I'd already left studying in high school, because you remember the way they used to tell us that just study here in high school, because when you get to college, when you get to university, you're not going to study anymore, you're going to relax. So make sure you just study in high school. And the way they used to tell us, like, there's no studying, like in the university, there's no studying. Like, I think I've studied in college more than I even studied in high school. Like, how many times more? Like 5 times more. Oh, this is just crazy. So for me, I thought that it was just like in the university, because you find that most of the time when you hear stories, maybe you'll hear those stories from those people who went to the university, and maybe they're just doing I don't want to say easy course, but like something simple that doesn't require so much studying. So when they tell you the life in the university, you'll just think it's same for everyone, and there's no studying, and you can just like get out of class and go and to the market and go to and do shopping and just enjoy yourselves. But that was so different with nursing, because there was a lot of studying. Like, I remember, like, we used to study almost every day. Like, you'd see people studying in the morning, in the afternoon, and even at night. And at times I used to think that people used to exaggerate somehow, because you'd wake up, you find that people will wake up at 4 or 5, then they study the entire time until 8. Then when classes begin at 8, they stay in class. Then during break time, they'll just go and take their meal, then go to the library and study a little bit, then go back to class at 11. And then when they're done with class at 1 p.m, because they already ate at 10, they'll go to the library, study from 1 to 2. Then at 2 p.m, they'll come back to class. Then at 6, they'll go take supper. Then they come back again and start studying until even 11 p.m. Like, people used to exaggerate even so much. But there's just a lot of studying. Like, you study a lot. But you just have to understand yourself and just don't let the stress get so much to you. Because me, I remember, at times I used just to say, if I don't feel like studying, I'll just stay at home, and not even at home, in the house, or if it's in the house, I'll just stay in the hostel and just relax, because you'd get a lot of pressure, because at times you find that you're even in your first year, but because you're getting a lot of pressure even from those who are in their second and third year. I used to see those who are in their first year, like they're still reading as crazy as that, because at that time I just taught for 2 weeks and maybe I just thought what is anatomy, but someone is there studying like shit. I don't know, you're starting to study anatomy, but people should just don't let it make you feel so stressed, make you look so confused, because it is not always that because you're stuck in your book 24/7 that you are reading. Some people are not even reading. The other thing that I expected that was going to be different, and I expected people are going to behave different, is when it comes to maturity, as in behaving as an adult. Like me, I just thought all those kind of like immaturity we left them in high school, but there's some things I used to see and I'd be like, oh, there's some people who are supposed to be taken back to high school so that they can grow up and come back here. Like, damn. The first thing is competition. Like, I used to see a lot of competition, and at times it's only that you can't tell someone, but you just look at them and feel pity for them. So I find there's positive competition that you just keep it to yourself, but there's some kind of competition that are just so weirdo. So you find that, because I used to be the class rep, I used to see so many of this stuff. So you find that someone comes to check their paper because they've done an exam, to check their slip, that their result. So they come and look at their paper, and then they look for another paper which is of their friends. So they look at their friend's paper, and then they realize that their friend has 90 and maybe they have 80. So when you just monitor this person, like the entire week, the entire month, they want to start studying like crazy only because their friend got a 90 and they got a 80, and they'll be studying like crazy. They'll make library their breakfast, lunch and supper, and you're like, why are you competing with someone? Like, was it a must for you to get 92? Like, the pass mark is 50%. So why are you competing to one? Why do you even want to get 90? Like, for what reason? I'd see people competing, like they really have very unhealthy competition, and I'd be like, what? So you find some people even went to an extent of having grudges. Like, I'm not talking to you because you got an 90 and I never got that 90, so I'm not talking to you. And it used to look so weird. And then the other thing is about behavior. Like, you find that there's some people who still have the childish behavior. Like, most of us are almost over 25 years, but at times you look at guys and be like, man, you should just grow up. Like, shit. Let me give you an incident. Like, there's this time, me and my friend, we went to, you know, the way we usually go back home, we go to Nairobi, maybe we go to see someone and such kind of things. So when we came back, so guys are like, what for Nairobi? I don't know, you're going to see boyfriends, I don't know what. Like, it's only that no one told me that, because if you can approach me with such kind of maturity, man, I can even slap you. Like, we're over 25 years. You can go and see whoever you want. You can do whatever you want with your life. It's your life. And because in the first place, right now we're done with college, and you find that 90% of these people are not even talking to each other. So why be there to judge people, and just to be there to watch who has gone to Nairobi, whose boyfriend has visited, who has gotten married, who is pregnant, I don't know, who has had a baby. Like, some people are just there to look at those kind of things. Yeah. Anyways, another thing is just people just have this childish behavior. Even in, you can see even some of them in class. Like, there was this time someone in class, I don't know, someone took someone's seat, and the other person just had to go to the head of department, then call the lecturer. I don't know who has taken my seat. Like, me, I used to sit down and just look at the way guys behave, and I'm like, man, we need to take like 90% of you guys back to high school so that you can just mature up and come back. So guys, that is just it, but it doesn't mean that it is hard or it is boring. It all depends on the expectation and the way you'll treat, like, when you get there. Because even if you expect so much, even if you expect like a little bit, it might be different for you, because you find that people in college, people like experience different things but in the same places. You find that there's this person maybe whom they're just into church and what for, there's this person who is into drugs, and there's this person who is just there. Like, everyone experiences different things. It all depends with how you want to take it. So that is it for today's video, and see you on my next video tomorrow. Bye bye.